Hey, this is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C. Different type of episode today. I don't go scrolling through YouTube looking for some random song to listen to. Someone told me in the comment section on one of my videos to listen to Prince perform Empty Room at the Montreux Jazz Festival. And that's what I did in this episode here. So buckle up and get ready for this episode of B Sharp and C. Why, good morning, everybody. This is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C. Today's episode is actually going to be a request from a listener who, after they saw my reaction to Prince's guitar solo for While My Guitar Gently Weeps, they asked me to review the Montreux Jazz Festival Empty Room. And their claim is that this is better. So let's listen to it. Listen to the song, listen to the performance, listen to the guitar solo. Let me see if I can pull it up. There it is. Let's give it a listen. I'm excited. Is the quality of the video bad? So just right away, the dude's singing he's one of the only male vocalists that I know who can lay on that real heavy falsetto, but have a lot of control over it. Falsetto with a really controlled vibrato, and he adds with the falsetto, he's able to add a little something that comes from the chest to give some of the ending tones of his lines and phrases a little bit of depth. Um, I can't think of too many other male vocalists who do it like Prince. Actually, I can't, there aren't any. There are no male vocalists who do it like Prince. I apologize for the low quality of the video, by the way.
Bed, in my head, every word you've spoken. How am I gonna feel? Am I gonna feel the same too? Tell me.
Real quick.
Every bed, in my head, am I ever gonna get you my mind?
But what he does with that falsetto, I'm not even going to attempt it, but it just goes from falsetto to deep. And when I use a falsetto, I'm kind of bringing it in from the top of the chest, back of the throat, kind of just opening everything up back in this area here. And he does this thing where he just kind of just blocks it off, and then it comes up from the chest, and you get depth on a note, and then it goes right back to falsetto with interlacing vibratos and other things going on there. I'm more impressed with his singing style right now than anything.
In my bed, in my head, every word you've spoken. How am I gonna feel? Am I gonna feel the same too? Tell me, tell me.
So he starts off this guitar solo with empty room, empty room. So he's playing the first few notes of the guitar solo are the melody notes for the vocal melody, and that's a brilliant way of immediately pulling the audience in. They don't even know why, but as soon as the guitar solo starts getting played, the audience is already like, I know this tune. And sometimes they figure it out, sometimes they don't. Using the whammy bar. You know, he's pretty much, it sounds like he's playing right out of the major pentatonic scale. That's what it sounds like. Without a guitar in front of me or without a piano in front of me. That's probably a goal that I should have for the future. Once I get a keyboard that I can play more for my lives, I'll take that MIDI controller and bring it back here. And then I can kind of play along with some of these things. But it sounds like he's playing right out of the, it sounds like major pentatonic. So.
Lonely hearts, worlds apart.
So this is the thing about Prince that I find to be incredibly unique is that he just did this whole half of the song, almost exactly half of the song, in a falsetto with tricklings of regular conventional singing. And then he comes in here with that depth that he can pull up from deep within his body. Um, and it's just as soulful, just as soulful. And that's something that I've learned about Prince over the years is that whether or not I even like his songs, like I'm not a crazy fan of this song. To me, it's not a song that I would listen to when I want to just listen to a song I like. It's really not. But no matter what the song is that Prince is doing, I'm beside myself with how easily he jumps around from one vocal style to the next within the same song. Heck, within the same sentence, within the same verse, he changes vocal styles and does it flawlessly.
Why then should they be broken? We could be somewhere making love. Love is strong, however long. We should have been forever.
I don't know if you wanted to hit that note.
We should have been forever.
That was probably the 4 out of the major pentatonic scale, and most of the time you'll want to stay away from it. Again, I don't have anything in front of me, and I'm really not good with my ear. Contrary to what people think, I'm really not that good with my ear. But I know that when you're playing out of the major pentatonic scale and you're going through a lot of you're kind of flying through the major pentatonic scale, there is some people who go through the major pentatonic scale also play out of the minor pentatonic scale at the same time because it's essentially the blues scale, or they play out of the blues scale. But the blues scale has that 4 in it. So sometimes, and I know I've done this with the guitar, I'll be playing out a major pentatonic and it sounds great, and then I'm like, let me throw in a blues riff, and I play the 4 probably when I shouldn't, and it stands out as sounding kind of sour. But I don't know if that's what he did here.
Love is strong, however long. we should have been forever. Why'd you leave me? Why'd you leave me all alone? Why'd you do it? No!
Probably the best guitar solo faces ever made were Prince. Prince was always able to make guitar solo faces that were Prince. Like when Prince was playing solos and he played the guitar, he would make faces that every single face he made, it's like, oh, that's Prince. But other musicians, some of the best in the world, when they played guitar solo, I mean, you should see Gary Moore. Go to YouTube and watch Gary Moore's faces when he plays guitar solos. Most guitarists, when they play crazy solos, their faces are like all over the place. It's all contorted and twisted, and their head, you think their head's going to fly off their shoulders. Prince is able to still be just classy Prince while he plays guitar solos, you know. And I don't know if that's just natural or if he makes an effort to come off that way. And I know what you're thinking. Why would someone make an effort to appear a certain way when they play guitar? Appearance matters. Steve Vai would play guitar in front of a mirror to look a certain way because he knew the audience would, when they buy tickets, they're buying a ticket to hear him and see him. And he wanted the perfect package of everything. So people work on their image. That's an episode of You Tell Me. You know what? I'm interrupting this guitar solo too much.
Barren walls, tears fall. What's the use of crying? I've gotta find a way to feel this empty.
All right, so there it was. Prince, Empty Room, live at the Montreux Jazz Festival. The performance was frighteningly awesome on so many levels. I don't think there's too many people who do what Prince does on stage. And over the years, over the decades, he made sure to kind of keep it the same, but also different as time went on. You know, when he was younger, it was very, very sensual. And then as he got older, it became a little bit more just all about the music, and all about class. And I think that's interesting that he made those changes. But So I think the singing was the highlight of that song for me. That's what I got out of that song, was just what he does vocally is so incredibly unique. And the guitar solo was great. Prince, every now and then when he does a guitar solo, because he knows so many tricks, because he has such a gigantic toolbox of all these different tools that he can use when he plays guitar, sometimes he throws them all into a guitar solo. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think when you use a lot of tools, when you use a lot of tricks, I have all these tricks up your sleeve that you can do on the guitar. I think when you use too many of them in one guitar solo, it kind of takes away a little bit from the space that you need to be melodic. I think that a lot of Prince's guitar solos are very melodically beautiful, like Purple Rain. I think and I think that was major pentatonic too, but Purple Rain, very beautiful, right? Very beautiful sounding, very nice, and you just kind of follow the melody, and there's not a lot of tricks in it. This guitar solo here, I think, was kind of different, whereas there was some melodic moments where it's like, oh, okay, I follow where you're going, but then they were broken up with a lot of the tricks he was doing with the whammy bar, with distortion and things like that. So I wasn't really amazed by the guitar solo here, to be honest with you. And I know some have said that this guitar solo at the Montreux Jazz Festival was way better than While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I don't know, I prefer the While My Guitar Gently Weeps one, only because I like to follow a melodic pattern. And I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people like the tricks, and I think it's all preference, to be honest with you. There are some of my guitar solos in my songs where, even as I listen to them years later, I'm like, oh, wow, what did I just learn that trick? Because throughout a 30-second guitar solo, I do the same trick like 7 times. And I know that gets tiring for the listener, because the listener is like, yeah, we heard you do this already, buddy, 3 times, and now you're doing it here, and you're doing it there, and you're doing it here. So I'm guilty of it too, you know. But all in all, this was a really, really great performance. Vocally, just everything. I would give this an 8-9. I would give it an 8-9, just for the reason that, and I don't even like the song that much. So it's not. I'm not a super big fan of Prince. I'm a fan more of what he did, and of his musical mind, and of his playability, and of the fact that he was a multi-instrumentalist. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, and I know how much work is involved in learning multiple instruments and being proficient at them. I'm not even 5% of what Prince was. So for him to go out there and play all these instruments and do it at such a high level, and also write good music, and also have a good image, and have the voice that he had, and be able to reach an audience like he did, he was the full package. You know, I know that art is a collaborative, or music is a collaborative art form, but in a lot of Prince's productions, and a lot of his songs, and a lot of what he did, it was collaborative, but it was like 90% Prince, 10% everybody else. And that's what you get with Prince. You know, he's the full package. So I'll give this an 8-9. I don't know if you agree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. If you think that the score should have been lower, should have been higher. You know, I definitely appreciate the comments. That's all I have. And that's it for this episode of B Sharp and C. Until next time, keep it groovy.